Okay, this is my new bearing end cap, and so the bearing goes in the middle there, and I have trigger coil going to be mounted on the end there because it's going to be coupled quite closely to the rotor magnets, because the rotor magnets are about 3 millimeters. The side of the rotor magnets are literally about 3 millimeters from there, so they're going to have some tiny little trigger coils, and I've got a little adjustment lever which I can move to adjust the timing, and it just goes around the hub like that, so it's very easy. So when it's mounted on the side, that's basically what we would see, and I can just move the lever to adjust the timing, and one coil is fixed because the actual secondary coils can be moved on the output stage. So the coil goes inside that little thing that's inside, like a little clasp thing. Actually, I've got another one of these which isn't in there. I'll just get that other one. I've printed two because they're tiny little things, and if they broke, if they didn't print well, this is the other one. It's both the same, and it just literally goes on that hub, and then like that one is, and the coil sits in that little clasp thing. When you move this, it moves the coil around. So the little coils are going to be very tiny, but I'm going to be using very thin wire, probably 38 SWG wire, so I can get enough wire and enough turns on there. But the trigger coils really don't require a lot of current. I'm only talking about a few microamps really to trigger the circuit. To trigger the transistors, we don't require a lot of current, so I can get away with some very tiny coils, which is what I decided to do. And so the other coil will be actually at this end. Did print some coils, but I split them. So, but these, I mean bobbins. I printed some bobbins, but they're too thin. So I'm actually going to have to print some more because these were a little bit too fragile. So we stick the two halves together a bit, more or less. Like, yeah, they just stick together. But these are just a bit too thin, very. So the wall thickness of the end was a little bit too thin. So yeah, well, I'm just going to print some more, a little bit thicker wall thickness, and then they sit in this thing sort of like that. I'll probably destroy it just by poking at it because this is so thin, too delicate. So the new ones will be a lot better. Well, I haven't stuck them together, so it's difficult to get them in there, but you know, you get the idea. They're going like sort of like that. Right, anyway, so not much happening at the moment, just tweaking designs and stuff, and yeah, I'm quite happy with the result on this adjustment thing. It's pretty neat. So that will go on the end of this assembly once I've got the other. I've got all four drums in there now. I'll just take it off there actually so you can see it a bit better, but I've got another plate to put on. There's not much room on this table. I'm just going to move stuff around a bit. So I've got two drums on the end there now. I've got another one of these to mount there, and then there's the end one. Another one of these goes on the end, and then this will be complete, and then the bearing hub goes on the end like on that one. Can't really see it properly in the light, but it screws on. So that one's got no holes on because there's no coils in that end. But I could swap it out and put some more trigger coils on that end if I wanted to. It's easy enough to swap the bearing hub out. I might actually do two of these so I can have timing coils on both ends, because they're not complicated to do. So the rotors go inside there, inside this drum, so nothing can fly out and hit anybody. And the acetone's brought it up really nice. It's very solid. You can hear how solid that is. It's very solid with that after it's been treated. And yeah, I had a little bit of warpage on it actually, a little bit of warpage, whereas this end was kind of coming up, but I'm not too worried about that because I've stuck some washers in there to ease it out of it. And I'm not sure what happened there, but I don't think it's going to cause a problem. If it does, I'll put it in a sealed container with a bit of acetone vapor and soften it out a bit, and that should help me to straighten it out. I don't know, it's kind of curled in a little bit on the bottom. This end here is a bit higher than that end there, so it's always something goes wrong. But yeah, it's not too bad because that's just for the base coil of it. Some coils go in the bottom there, in another shuttle, so that's only that section. The main part of the structure is the tube. As long as that's straight, I'm not worried, and it looks straight anyway. Yeah, so we'll find out when I get the final end piece on how much warpage I'm seeing, because that's the trouble with this ABS, it does tend to warp a bit. And well, there's nothing that I can't fix with a little bit of heat or a bit of acetone to soften things up a bit and move things around a bit. I don't know, we'll see. Yeah, and this is my adjustable coil for the output stages, which I have all my coils in, and I can move them around. Yeah, it's daylight outside, so that's why I haven't got the light on. But it's kind of a bit dark because I'm filming this with the light source in the wrong place, really. So anyway, that's all for now. It's just a little update on where we're at. Yeah, thanks for watching anyway. Even though I don't get any credit. No, I don't get no credit, no money, nothing. But still, yeah. Bye for now.